The Rndr token has been one of the biggest winners of the current bull run and is one of the hottest AI tokens on the market. Now, we can see here on a day where it's been kind of a mixed bag for the altcoin market. Rndr is actually up about 6.4%. And I believe this has to do with the major upgrade and migration of the token over to the Solana network. So in today's episode of the Everything Crypto Show, I'm going to break down exactly what it means for Rndr to be moving over to Solana and how this could have a big impact on the price action. Now, before we hop into the content, just a friendly reminder that I am not a financial advisor. I am simply here for your crypto news and entertainment purposes. And if you do enjoy the content, please consider hitting that sub and like button and turn that notification bell on so you can be notified when all of our latest videos go live on the channel. So without further ado, we are going to hop right into today's altcoin of discussion, and I do want to talk about the Rndr token, which as we can see is up about 6.53% on the day. And it's on a day here where the altcoin market really has been a mixed bag for the most part. However, after a pretty rough month overall in June and in early July for altcoins, Rndr has definitely seen a nice bounce back here. And we are going to take a look at the price action to wrap things up. But first, I do want to actually talk about some really important news for this altcoin, and that is pertaining with its migration over to Solana. So for those of you that don't know, the Rndr token, Rndr, initially launched as an ERC20 token on the Ethereum blockchain, and they did announce back in November of 2023 that they completed a successful upgrade to Solana. And what this has meant for Rndr since this upgrade effectively is that there has been a Rndr token on both the Ethereum chain as well as on the Solana chain, and that still is the case. However, what we are seeing now is major exchanges actually supporting this migration over to Solana. So recently, we saw Binance, Coinbase, OKX, Kraken, and Crypto.com all confirm that they will be delisting Rndr on the on their apps, and they are actually going to be swapping and supporting the rebrand to the Rndr token on the Solana network. Now, what they go ahead and do here is kind of break down exactly what this means for Rndr holders. So first off, they basically asked, will Coinbase support the Rndr to Rndr upgrade? They were the first exchange to support Rndr alongside the ERC20 version, but have not yet confirmed support for the upgrade. There is also a migration portal here, which it actually allows you to go ahead and do it through DeFi. There are, in fact, rewards for upgrading as well. So when you upgrade your ERC Rndr to the Sol Rndr, you actually are given an incentive, and basically a certain amount of Rndr is divided amongst all Rndr holders on the Solana chain, and it is then paid out for early adopters of this actual migration. Now, if you are not too familiar with centralized exchanges, if you are more familiar with, with using DeFi and you do hold Rndr in self-custody, there is actually also a portal right here. And you can basically connect your Ethereum and Solana wallets and select how much Ethereum Rndr you would like to transfer over to the Solana chain. What is the process for holding Rndr on a ledger and moving it to Solana? They do also talk about that here. So they basically break down exactly what is going on with this migration. We have seen a lot of major exchanges, basically the biggest exchanges, supporting the upgrade here. And I do believe this could be a part of the reason that the price has been moving to the upside. We know that while Ethereum is the biggest blockchain ecosystem out there, and it's been there for a majority of this bull run, Solana definitely has kind of been like the biggest riser. It went from basically being called dead at the depths of the bear market to now sitting in 5th place in terms of its market cap at over $72 billion. And I think it makes sense for Rndr to upgrade. They did break it down in a post why they actually went ahead and did that. And they basically said that Solana will help Rndr network extend into new applications such as machine learning and inference training, and unlock new utility through Solana's best-in-class technologies. A big one for this is the speed as well. And following the launch, the migration to the Solana chain, They did also announce the burn mint equilibrium for the new Solana tokens, which basically means that the equivalent amount of Rndr that is being used for tasks on their decentralized GPU infrastructure is also being burned at the same time. So moving over to Solana did actually unlock a bunch of upgrades for token holders. And now we see a lot of exchanges actually getting behind this. And I think overall that this is bullish. Mainly for the reason that, generally speaking, like it can be a little bit confusing. I've gotten a ton of questions on, would you rather have your Rndr on the Ethereum chain or the Solana chain? I think unifying that liquidity into one single token is definitely just a better play for the Rndr token in terms of kind of unifying that liquidity. And additionally, we know that Solana has been a really big fan favorite. Just in terms of adopting new users. It's really easy with the Phantom wallet, a bunch of meme coins on Solana. So the fact that if you now go over to the Sol ecosystem and Rndr sits right here in the top 5, I think that's also a really big deal for this token, just to help bring more awareness to everything that this project has been doing. Now, I do also want to talk about the price action in this video. Reason being is that, we've kind of seen Rndr, like I said, make a nice bounce. In fact, if we measure it from the bottom of the range at about $5.70, it's up about 22%. However, if we actually measure Rndr from its all-time highs that came in at about $13.50, it's still down about 50% from that level. And we can see here that on a longer-term basis, if we actually go ahead and pull the trend line here, it has just been making a set of lower lows, has been unable to actually get back above it, but we did bounce off of a key area of support, or close enough to it, at the $5.30 range. So if we take a look back here into 2021, $5.30 was kind of like the last area of resistance before we saw that mass capitulation in the altcoin market. Now here in December of 2023, Rndr tried to retest that level, got rejected once again, pulled back, and then on that breakout above $5.30 is when we did see that giant move up to $13.50. So, effectively about 150% move here within just the matter of was give or take like a month on the breakout, right? It was February 12th it broke out, and March 11th more or less that it topped out here. So within a month, this coin moved up about 150%. And now we can actually see that it has come back down. And while it did not perfectly bounce off of $5.30, it did come pretty close. It actually came close to the 200-week moving average as well. And generally speaking, coming back down to prior areas of resistance and back testing it as support is bullish for the price action. So, taking a look up ahead, here's what I'm looking for next when it comes to Rndr. And the big one here would really be that key area of resistance at $8.80. And if we take a look here, even on a monthly, I'm going to show you exactly why I think this level is so important, okay? $8.80 actually acted as the 2021 all-time high. This is where Rndr peaked before we saw the bear market happen. And now you can see here, actually, I'm going to go back to the weekly. You can see here that, after it broke out above 880, this thing ran all the way up to that level, kind of moved sideways around here for a couple of weeks, broke down, broke back up, and we are now back below it. So this 880, I would expect to be a strong area of resistance, but really that is the next key level I am looking for when it does come to the charts. So again, to the downside, looking for $5.30, upside looking for $8.80. And, given the bounce we saw here, if the market does remain bullish, I would expect Rndr to kind of continue making its way back up to that level. Now, additionally, we don't only speak about altcoins on their USD pair. I also look at altcoins on their Bitcoin pair. I think that it's really valid to do so, and I think it's kind of important because, if your altcoin is underperforming Bitcoin, you were probably just better off buying Bitcoin, right? You kind of buy altcoins to outperform Bitcoin for the most part. And since the beginning of the bull market, Rndr has actually outperformed Bitcoin by about 350%, even with the substantial pullback we have seen recently. This thing has also pulled back 50% on its Bitcoin pair as well. So we know that alts have been getting smashed while Bitcoin has been showing relative strength just compared to the rest of the market, even though Bitcoin itself has pulled back and is kind of bouncing back now. However, longer term for the duration of the bull run, I do expect this outperformance for Rndr to continue, and that is why it is an altcoin that we do cover frequently here on the channel. So on that note, I hope you did enjoy the content in today's video. I hope you are all staying happy, safe, and healthy, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out for now.